nothing to do with Minnie Mouse. I just wanted to wear these ears. Or did it have something to do with Minnie Mouse? It has to do with the fact that I was going to Disney World in September, and my friend texted me when she was in Goodwill, and she had found some red polka dot pajama pants from Old Navy, and she was like, hee hee hee, wouldn't these be so funny to wear to Disney World? They're so fantastically themed. And I was like, I need these pants right now. I'm gonna go buy them. So I got in my car and I went to the thrift store and I bought those pajama pants, and I got them home and I was like, these are pajama pants. What the heck am I gonna do with pajama pants? I'm a firm believer that sweatpants and pajama pants should not be worn outside as regular clothing. If you wanna wear them outside, that is totally fine, but I am never going to wear them outside because I hate them. And I always feel like I just don't look good enough in them. I don't know, I'm not feeling it. So I get these pants home and I'm like, what are we going to do with these pants that we just spent $5 on? Like, what are we gonna do with this? But I do love jogger sweatpants. And the more I was Googling on the internet, I came across this technique called pin tucking, which is this sewing technique that is just super, super cool. Didn't know it existed. Like, I literally sewed one line across and I was like, my life has been changed forever. This is awesome. So in this video, I'm going to show you how to take a pair of boring pajama pants that I would not personally wear outside as is, and I'm going to turn them into a pair of super cool joggers that I would definitely wear outside. So let's get started. Here are my thrifted pants. They are size large from Old Navy, so they're not typically the size of pants that I normally wear. If you want to make this project as easy as possible, pick a pair of pants that fits your waist exactly, because that'll make it so much easier. But if it doesn't fit your waist like mine, you're just going to have to take some of that material from either the front and back or from the sides. So I'm going to take a pair of jogger pants that I already own that I love the fit of, and I'm just going to line them up with the top of the waistband. I do want my pants to be a little bit more high-waisted than the pants that I already have, so that is why I'm not lining it up exactly. I'm then going to fold over the cuff on the bottom of the pants, and I'm just going to cut straight across, and then I'm going to fold the pants over, and using what I cut off, I'm going to cut that off the other side so that both sides of the pants are even. So because these pants are a little bit too big, and because they are made for someone who has hips, which I do not have, I am shaped like a giant marker, I have 0 hips, I'm going to have to take some of that extra material off. And I love using Crayola markers because they are washable and they are super cheap, and pretty much everyone has them, so you can find them really easily. And I'm just going to mark out what I need to sew off. I'm then just going to sew this with a straight stitch, and then I'm going to cut off any of the extra material. To hem the inside of the pants, you're going to want to lay one leg out at a time. This way it doesn't do any weird things at the crotch. And I'm actually going to pin one side down, and I know I had tried it on, and then I'm going to do the other leg, and for some reason I was a rebel, didn't feel like trying it on, and decided it would just work out fine. So I'm actually going to trim some material off on the inside because, again, I'm a rebel. And then I'm going to flip the pants over on each other so I can make sure that they are equal and I don't have one leg that's like way bigger than the other or anything strange like that. Next, I'm going to do this super scientific way of measuring to see where the knees would be. Next, I'm actually just putting my leg up against it, and I'm like, my knee would be about here. I could have actually just used my jogger pants as reference because you can clearly see where the knees are in it. And then I'm trying on the pants in this very beautiful clip, and you can see I'm like, okay, cool. It's at my ankle. Perfect. Yay. With the inside seam cut away, I'm going to lay the pants out together, and I'm doing this pinning technique at the knee because I want to make sure that the knees are both sewed at the same place. Because we're doing the decorative top stitch, you want to make sure that it's the same. Next up, I'm going to use a pin tucking foot. So I actually bought mine specifically from the manufacturer that makes my sewing machine. That way I knew it would fit. And I'm also using a twin needle that when I went to buy the sewing foot, I just asked the lady, like, I need a twin needle. Can you show me which one would be the best? So with my twin needle in place, I did actually do a test run to make sure that this worked. But then I'm going to line up the edge seam on my pants, and I'm just going to sew down straight across the top. And I was like, oh my gosh, this is so cool. Like, I know this sounds silly, wasn't expecting this to actually work. And I was like, this is awesome. I'm so excited. I then sewed 2 rows and held it up and decided they were too far far apart. I'm then going to use the side of my presser foot as a guide, so that way all of my stitches will be the same distance apart, but I thought that having them closer together really gave it a really luxurious look and made more sense than having them a little bit far apart. This is totally personal preference, but I was like, nope, I want these stitches close to each other, not far away. So once I had the stitch width correct, I just went for it and kept sewing down and down and down. And this does take forever. I'm not promising you a quick turnaround on this one. I probably spent at least 2 hours just sewing pin tucks in the knees of these pants. And then this is what one knee looks like. And I had left all the strings at the end. So of course I had to go through and pull all of these out. I could have also unseamed it here, but I didn't know and it turned out okay. If I did this in a future thing, I would probably seam rip this open so you get a nice clean edge. And here's what the back side of this looks like, just in case anyone was curious. You can see the back side versus the front. So after I was done with the pin tucking, I decided to pin this together and do a straight stitch. I would definitely recommend trying these on first before sewing them closed, because when I tried them on, I looked and I was like, wait a second, this knee it isn't what I really want. The knee was just a little bit too low. So I ended up having to then seam rip them open and add more to them. And I added probably like 4 or 5 rows. So you can see I have one knee that's taller than the other and it just looks so much better. So once your pants are sewn together, I'm going to try them on and measure out how big my ankle is so I can put that cuff around it. And I had this paranoid moment where I was like, what if this cuff is too tight? Like, I don't want that. But I will say, because this is stretchy material, you don't want it super big, because I actually made mine a little too big and then they weren't quite as tight as they really should have been. But I'm just using some red jersey that I got from Joann's, but I'm cutting it at 11 inches long by 4 inches wide, because I'm then going to half it to turn it over. So the cuff at my ankle will only be about 1.5 to 2 inches tall. For the cuff at the bottom, I'm just going to do a straight stitch at the top to lock everything in place. And then I'm going to turn it inside out so that your raw edge will not be showing and it'll be locked in on the inside. And then I'm also just going to sew straight across that bottom. Now that the cuff is complete, I'm going to pin right sides together, and I'm going to take the seam on my cuff and match that with the seam of the pants. And then I'm just going to quarter it around and match, basically make a fake little seam on the other side and pin that to the other seam on the side of the pant and just go around. And this should fit pretty well. And then you're just going to do a straight stitch all the way around, and then you are done. You have some newly fitted pants. The tutorial part of this video. I told myself I wasn't gonna wear these ears all video, but I think they look pretty fabulous. Also, like these sweatpants. The thing that I really love is because they are made of pajama pants, they are so soft. They're so comfy, but because they have the pin tucking detail on the knee and they have the different material on the bottom, so they are jogger pants, they look way more cool than just like regular pajama pants where you're like, what are you wearing? Those look like PJs. These actually look like a statement piece, and they actually look like really cool pants that you'd want to wear outside. I also tried this technique with a pair of black sweatpants, and it totally works, and it transforms them, and it looks awesome. So if you want to try this, it is super easy. It is definitely one where even if you're a beginner, I think this is a beginner level project because it's really not that hard. You can do it in like an hour, super easy, super forgiving material. And if you like this video, please give it a big thumbs up because it helps me and it helps the YouTube algorithm, and it's free for you, and who doesn't love free things? And if you're not subscribed yet, hit the subscribe button down below because I make lots of videos about how to DIY things and how to upcycle things that you get from the thrift store that you may or may not really love. love the way they are when you get them, but you can change them into something super cool to wear out, except if you buy sweatpants to go to Disney in August. I will warn you, you will not wear sweatpants in Disney in August because it is 1,000 degrees down there. So I will not recommend these for Disney in August, but maybe for Valentine's Day, which is coming up, and also maybe my mini ears because they're also red and, you know, looking pretty fabulous in it. So I hope you guys have a fantastic week and I will see you next time. Bye!